So, Mr. Pancakes, you see this guy up on the screen right here?
I know who that guy is.
You know that guy? Okay, so for everyone who can't see, in case you're listening to Spotify and everything like that, up on the screen, we got our favorite little web slinger actor called Tom Holland.
Oh, it's not Tobey Maguire?
Oh, no, that's not Toby.
Oh,
not Toby
it's Andrew Garfield.
No, not even close. It's
okay.
Tom Holland.
At least I was in the right country that time.
Right, exactly. So, we're talking about Tom Holland, and here's the deal with what we're talking about with Tom Holland. So there's a couple of news that came out recently, and the news is that one, he's ready and he's read the script for Spider-Man 4.
Let's fucking go.
Okay, let's fucking go. All right. So Pancakes is excited about that. Now, the other thing that Tom Holland is in the news for is the fact that he is going to be playing in a Christopher Nolan movie. Now, apparently this movie is going to be set in the 1920s.
A 1920s fantasy vampire movie.
Yes. So now we have the guy who's playing Spider-Man, who is also going to be playing in a movie with Christopher Nolan as a vampire. Now, Pancakes, let's start with Spidey 4 before we jump into...
Right. Well, it was not exactly a well-kept secret. It was pretty much out there, but there was that clip that came out this week, Tom Holland on Jimmy Fallon, where he's asked directly, Spider-Man 4, is it happening?
Right.
And he said, yes, we are shooting next year in 2025. There was another interview he did not too long ago. He's like, me and Zendaya saw our early drafts of the...
So I have, so listen to this.
Go ahead.
Since you brought that up, because I was going to bring it up, but I have, according to Esquire magazine, it says here, last week, Holland passed up another chance to spoil Spider-Man 4 in an appearance on the Rich Roll podcast. Now, he revealed that he had already read the script for the fourth Spidey entry, but spared any specific details. But he did say this, and I quote, "It really lit a fire in me," Holland said. "Zendaya and I sat down and read it together, and we at times were bouncing around the living room like, this is a really movie worthy of the fans' respect." End quote. Now, what do you think about that, Pancakes?
I'm excited. Okay, so like when we were talking earlier, when we were preparing to talk about the show. So if you notice in this same time frame, we finally got the premiere date for the Daredevil series, March 4th, 2025.
Okay.
And in the same week or time frame, we got the reveal that Tom Holland was finally allowed to confirm Spider-Man 4 happening. The last time something similar to happen, if we flash back to 3 years ago, Kevin Feige, right at the end of the Hawkeye series, and right before the same week when the last Spider-Man movie came out, Kevin Feige said in an interview, if anybody is going to play Daredevil in the MCU, it's going to be Charlie Cox. So that same week, we got Vincent D'Onofrio returning as Kingpin on Hawkeye. We have Charlie Cox appearing as Matt Murdock in the Spider-Man movie. So the fact that Daredevil's coming out next year and Spider-Man is filming in 2025 leads me to think, this is just pure speculation, that there's going to be a Daredevil tie-in to this movie that's going to lead right into Spider-Man. I know we're getting 2 seasons of Daredevil, and the Spider-Man movie's probably not going to come out to 2026. So
no, he said, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, they're filming in 25.
They're filming in
next summer.
I could have sworn he said that the movie's going to be coming out next summer.
No, they're filming next summer.
Oh, they're filming. Well,
I think Marvel, you also have to factor in Sony. Yes, 2 studios.
Yeah.
John's rolling his eyes.
Sorry, 64.
So there's definitely going to be connected.
I never put that 2 into. That's a good thing you brought that up.
This is what I want to tell you. This is what came to mind. So Peter Parker and Matt Murdock in this universe have the established history. They honor the comic books that he was his lawyer when he got charged, and so they have history together. And Charlie Cox is going to be full Daredevil, back in the Netflix form. So it's relatively close to each other. So I think maybe why Tom Holland is excited about the movie is because there's going to be the Daredevil team up, and the main villain or one of the villains is going to be Kingpin.
Ooh, okay, okay. Well, here's another thing that I thought about. When are we going to see this movie? Like, at what point in the MCU timeline do we see Spider-Man 4? Is it before Doomsday? Is it after Doomsday, before Secret Wars? Or is it, after both of them? Like, at what time frame is this movie set in?
Is that going to be leading into Doomsday? Or is it between the two Avenger movies?
I want to say that it's going to be before Doomsday. I think it'll tie in to Doomsday.
Do we get... Well, no, the movie's already in production. Well, actually, it's in production right now. Do we get a Spider-Man cameo, Fantastic Four, or does he appear in the after credits scene? Soon?
I personally do not believe I don't think any of the MCU guys are going to show up in Fantastic Four. I think it's going to be a self-contained story that will make them appear in the MCU.
Okay, we touched on that. See that video in our archives. But getting back to Spidey 4, now there's all these rumors out that they want to do a multiverse story again. I hope that's been done. Leave it in the MCU. Save that for the big Avenger movies that are coming. We can see Toby and Andrew in those movies. And there's the Venom connection. Some rumors, so we don't know what's happening with that.
Well, since you brought that up, I was going to say something too about the Venom universe. Well, considering that the movie comes out this week and we will be seeing it.
Yes, sir.
I do want to say that a lot of people have been saying that Null is going to be a big part of it. Now, considering that the Venom movies, this is the last one, who's to say that in Part 4, in Spidey 4, we don't see Null show up? Maybe not as the big bad for this movie, but setting up Spider-Man for a 5th and 6th movie as the major big bad.
The Venom trilogy may be coming to end, and supposedly Tom Hardy is done with the character, but we've heard that before. Example, Hugh Jackman with Wolverine. So maybe he's done making Venom movies, but I don't think he's done playing the Venom character. I think he'll be... I think, they teased there's a lot of frustration with Sony. What are they doing with this movie? But at the same time, they after teasing the Venom after Venom 2, and he was in the MCU, then he got sent back because of the events of No Way Home. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a Tom Holland guest appearance or cameo in one way or another. But just keep Venom, like the movie I want, save Venom for a Spider-Man 5 possibly.
I would agree with that.
If the events of Doomsday and Secret Wars are done, then do Spidey 5 with Venom as a potential villain. It's
possible. We don't even know if Null is going to show up in the MCU, right? So there's a possibility of that. But
I don't know. Yeah. I'm gonna stick to the Daredevil theory for now, and
I like that Daredevil
and Vincent
theory.
D'Onofrio, yeah.
I like that. So now going back to the other thing about Tom Holland, how cool is it that Christopher Nolan said, I did an award-winning movie about Oppenheimer.
Right.
And now I'm going to do a 1920s vampire flick. What?
Well, that's the beautiful...
Oh, and also, I forgot to mention, who else is going to be in this movie? None other than Matt Damon.
Who's technically a part of the MCU in a way, but...
Well, yeah, he plays Loki.
Fake Loki.
Fake Loki. But anyway.
So, that's the beautiful thing about Christopher Nolan. Well, he already had free license. He was already one of the best directors on the planet prior to Oppenheimer. But now he's returned to Universal to do this film.
Right.
So, with the success and making one of the best movies of the century, the movie of the year, he can do whatever the fuck he wants now.
I totally agree with you.
He's writing this movie too, so it was probably already in the early stages in pre-production prior to Oppenheimer. But he probably said he probably told Universal, pointed to the script, this is the movie I want to do, because he is at the top of the food chain as far as directors right now, because after winning for Best Director, and he also got the second Oscar as executive producer for winning Best Picture. So this he could do whatever genre he wants. So to jump
But
from
see, that's the thing though. If you notice, every single time Nolan does a movie, right, he'll do one really important, great film for himself. Like, what did he do? Like in between the Batman movies, he did Inception. I think
Insidious.
He did Dunkirk and no, not Insidious.
That's Insidious. But
but yeah, so he did Dunkirk. He did Inception. So every time it's like almost like, okay, I did this. Now I need to do this because I need to clear my head of, let's say, history stuff and do something that my head will say, oh, it's okay to do a vampire flick because why not? I haven't done that. What do you think? Think that's a good idea of how he's jumping from genre to genre?
he has a history of doing it, so it doesn't surprise me. But like I said,
it kind of keeps the creativity going, though, right?
Yeah, it keeps him fresh. Let the man do whatever he wants. You know, he can make. I think he maybe bought himself 2 or 3 movies to do whatever he wants with Universal.
I'm sure it's more than that. I think he has pick of anything he wants to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was thinking of Interstellar. I don't know.
Oh, Interstellar. Okay.
Cut that out, please.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't mind. It sounds like an exciting concept anyway. To go from a American history story about this famous scientist that created the atom bomb,
right,
that ended World War II, to do a superhero trilogy about the most famous hero on the planet. He could do a World War II movie, fantasy mystery, whatever the hell he wants to do.
Yeah, I totally agree. So the question goes out to you guys. What do you guys think? Do you think that this is a great idea where, jumping between genres? Or do you think he should just stick with one thing and keep it going? Also, let us know what your theories are for what Spider-Man 4 could be. Is it going to be a low-level person, like, let's say, Kingpin, that Pancakes brought up, and having him team up with Daredevil? Or is he going to go back out to outer space and try and fight Null? Let us know in the comment section down below.